Have you ever wondered what the future asterisk feels asterisk like? I'm not talking about futuristic designs or flying cars. I mean, what does it literally feel like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? We spend so much time thinking about how the future will look and sound, but we're on the brink of a revolution that will engage all of our senses in ways we've only ever dreamed of. Welcome to the world of phantom senses and digital synesthesia. This isn't just about making virtual reality more realistic. It's about fundamentally expanding the human experience. We're moving beyond just seeing and hearing the digital world. We're about to touch it, smell it, and even taste it. So, how is this possible? It starts with something you might have already heard of. Haptic feedback. Think about the rumble in your game controller when your character gets hit. Now, imagine that technology, but 1,000 times more advanced. We're talking about full-body haptic suits, gloves with tiny actuators on each fingertip, and even ultrasonic arrays that can create the sensation of texture on your bare skin, completely out of thin air. Imagine putting on a suit and not just seeing a virtual rainforest, but feeling the cool mist on your arms, the rough bark of a tree under your fingertips, and the gentle push of a breeze. These aren't just vibrations. This is about replicating complex sensations. Companies are developing technologies that can simulate temperature, pressure, and even the feeling of different materials. You could feel the difference between silk and sandpaper, or the warmth of a virtual fireplace. This is what we call phantom sense. The brain is tricked into perceiving a sensation that is unphysically there in the traditional sense. It's a phantom, but to your brain, it's as real as anything else. But touch is just the beginning. What about smell and taste? These are arguably our most primal and emotionally connected senses. A single scent can transport you back to your childhood. The taste of a specific dish can evoke powerful memories. Engineering these senses digitally is a monumental challenge. But the race is on. Digital olfaction, or the creation of digital smells, is being explored through devices called olfactometers. These aren't your average air. They contain a series of cartridges with base scents that can be precisely mixed and released to create thousands of different smells on demand. Imagine watching a cooking show and smelling the garlic sautéing in the pan, or exploring a virtual flower market and being able to smell each individual rose. This technology could be integrated into VR headsets or placed in a room to create an immersive smellscape. And then there's taste. This is the final frontier. Taste is incredibly complex, a combination of smell and the 5 basic tastes detected by our tongue: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami. Researchers are experimenting with devices that use electrical and thermal stimulation on the tongue to replicate these basic tastes. It's called digital gustation. By stimulating specific taste receptors, they can make you perceive sweetness without any sugar, or saltiness without any sodium. When you combine this with digital olfaction, you get the potential for a complete digital flavor experience. You could download the recipe for a 5-star meal, and the device would replicate its taste and smell for you. The implications for entertainment, health, and even space travel are staggering. Astronauts on long missions could taste a home-cooked meal, and people with dietary restrictions could experience flavors they can no longer have. This is where things get really when we can engineer our senses, we don't have to stop at just replicating reality. We can create entirely new sensory experiences. This leads us to the concept of digital synesthesia. Synesthesia is a real neurological phenomenon where stimulating one sensory pathway leads to an involuntary experience in a second pathway. Some people, for example, can see sounds as colors or associate numbers with specific persons. It's a beautiful, natural blending of the senses. Now, what if we could induce this digitally? What if we could program a connection between senses that don't normally interact? Imagine listening to a symphony, and as the violins swell, you feel a sensation of warmth spreading across your skin. As the drums kick in, you taste a sharp, citrusy flavor. You could literally taste a musical chord or feel a color. In a virtual world, a programmer could design an experience where touching a glowing blue orb creates the sound of a bell, or where the scent of pine is translated into a low humming frequency you feel in your chest. We would be able to perceive data and art in entirely new dimensions. A data analyst could feel the peaks and valleys in a financial chart. A doctor could smell the difference between healthy and diseased cells in a diagnostic simulation. This isn't science fiction anymore. These technologies are in active development. The metaverse, that buzzword we hear so often, won't just be a 3D version of the internet we look at through a screen. It's being built as a multi-sensory space, where the boundaries between the physical and digital blur. Of course, this raises some profound questions. What happens to our perception of reality when we can so easily manipulate it? If we can experience perfect pleasure at the push of a button, how does that affect our motivation in the real world? These are important ethical conversations we need to have as we build this future. The potential for connection and empathy is enormous. Imagine truly feeling what someone else is feeling, or experiencing a culture through its unique tastes and smells from halfway across the world. But one thing is certain. Our relationship with technology is about to become a lot more intimate. We're not just creating new worlds, we're creating new ways to be human within them. The future won't just be something we see. It will be something we experience with every fiber of our being. Phantom senses and digital synesthesia are the keys that will unlock a level of immersion and perception we can barely comprehend today. What do you think? Are you excited about the possibility of tasting music or feeling colors? Or does it seem a little too strange? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for exploring this incredible future with me today. If you enjoyed this journey into the senses of the metaverse, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more deep dives into the technology that is shaping our world. See you in the next one.